All right, welcome to our maps. This is Randy Miller. We got the cheap version, the medium grade version, and the more expensive version. They all kind of do this about the same. You got the single one right here, and the double ones right here. This one has blades in here, so you can remove this. It's a little more meatier, I guess if you call it, but you can add like 5 or 10 blades in here and make it look nice. Or when you're on the job site, you don't have to look for the blades or anything. But the blades last a long time. Okay, so the main purpose of using these, this is my number one tool to use, is you can cut the vinyl but also cut the paper at the same time. So prime example, if you're on a delicate surface, let's kind of move this over here. On a delicate surface, and if you don't want to cut, you use your knife and cut along here, you can actually use this and then just cut like this, and it cuts the paper and the vinyl at the same time. Or if you just want to cut just the backing alone and just do it this way, there's lots of techniques to do this way. So this is one technique, is I cut about 1 inch bleed right here, and what I do is I can actually fold the architectural films, and so you can go against the wall right here, and you can have a level, I guess, area. You can have a wall, and if it's on a table, you can have it against this wall right here and have it pinched right there. And then I would recommend you probably do another, if it's a table right here with a wall right here, you can do it this way. And then what I do is I do a double cut. Use your double cutter right here. And you can, what I call tacking on strips. So you tack this on, you take this one little strip, tack it on, so you can put it against the wall right here, and then move it around, and then when you're happy with it, it's like the wall's right here, and you tack it on, and then it's not going anywhere, and then kind of the vinyl is relaxed, and you go this way. That's one little technique. Okay. Another technique is, so when you're changing the blades, so you just remove this, move that, and then when you change a blade, once you change the blade, I usually put a little marker right here. You can see it right there. I use a fill tip marker, dot it right there, so it means it's been used, and then you put it right back into place. So you can flip it 4 times. You go, put it on here and right there. Okay, put it right back on, and every once in a while, this does, if you don't take care of them, if it's in the bag and it just bends a little bit right here, make sure this is nice and level, and making sure this is actually level right here with a knife, so it's all nice when you're cutting it. Another thing is called a Teflon tape right here, and it usually comes with a kit. Definitely have these things on here. If you don't have these things on here, prime example is this one right here. So when you're cutting the vinyl, as you can see right here, it's going to start grabbing the vinyl, or actually the glue, and this guy right here. So when you're cutting with the Teflon tape, it's smooth. Ooh, it doesn't grab. So that's another technique right there. And make sure, change your blades out often. Don't be stingy. These don't cost that much. So if you have a sharp, nice, clean blade, less chance. If you have a dirty blade, actually prime example, this is actually probably an old blade right here. It gets a little chunky right here. And when you're installing it, the vinyl, you will see, oddly enough, weirdly enough, is where you cut this right here, you will see little dimples when you're installing it right about here, and you'll see like little dimples, and you can't get it out. And so it's kind of weird. So be cautious when you use a dull blade. Okay, so another techniques is, the reason why I use a double cut blade is for like door wraps or wall wraps or what you call tacking on strips. So tacking on strips is basically a one inch strips, and then you can and you see it in a lot of my videos when you're installing around curves. And if the curves are going like this, I usually use a 1 inch strip, tack it on this way, and then I go left to right. For the door wraps, I usually do probably 7 inches going down, and then I do a tacking on strips going left to right, and then going this, installing it this way. So, and another thing is when you're doing what I call the double cuts, or when you do a double cut, or butt joints, when you're doing the butt joints. So what I normally do, I do a 1 inch strip right here on the one side. Let me show you that right here. I'm gonna do a 1 inch strip this way. So it's a little lip right there. And then another, let's do it right here on this one right here. 1 inch strip this way. And so the end's right about right there. So I just kind of overlap each other a little bit. So when you're cutting, you have about a 1/2 inch bleed right there. So sometimes when you can't cut on the surface, you can use this guy right here. And you can go right between and go like that way. Remove the vinyl this way, that way. Take your squeegees, and then you can do a double cut right there. A lot of times I don't like using this technique because you have like a little lip, because believe it or not, it's high when you're doing this. So you see a little lip, as you can see right there. So what I recommend, let's flip this around. So where did I put that? There it is. So again, 1 inch strip. Another 1 inch strip right here. So I'm just going to overlap it a little bit. Okay. Then what I do is I then take my knife, because it's forcing the vinyl down, and there is very little gap. Okay, just remove the backing, and now the butt joints are level, as you can see. There's no overlap or anything like that, and it's much better doing it this way. Granted, you're cutting on the surface, but there's not much you can do for that. I'm just giving you options. If the surface cannot be cut on, then do it this way, but you will possibly get a overlap on that. Okay. Other than that, these tools are so great to use, and again, these are my #1 tools to use. I probably use this guy 70% of the time. This guy definitely I use all the time for my custom prints. So when I do the custom prints for the customers, I pre-cut them, and then I sent the prints out to them, and so it's a lot easier for them. But I definitely, on job sites, I bring both. You can use one, do double cut. This is a little bit quicker. Just do it one time. Again, make sure there's Teflon. Change the blades out. This guy right here is really good. It's heavy duty. It has a little weight to it. Also, put the blades on there, and everyone, it doesn't last forever. But what I've done is I added a little glue on this because I was using it so much. I stripped it, but it's still a great knife to use. I just added a little glue right there because it was moving around a little bit too much. But other than that, that's little techniques. All right, stay tuned. We got more projects and products coming your way, but also little techniques we are doing.